today we heard RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing. And, certain Republican U.S. senators are really hesitant to support Bobby's confirmation. What do you think about those senators after today? And do you think any of the confirmation hearing assuaged some of his concerns?
I hope all Republicans and maybe even a few Democrats will be open-minded, will listen to him. I've been impressed every time I've met him of how informed he is, how analytical he is, how he looks at each problem, and also how sincere he is. I think it's disappointing to me to see how, I guess, mean-spirited Democrats were towards him when, he spent probably the first 20 or 30 years of his adult life fighting to clean up water,
Yeah.
fighting to clean up the Hudson River. And they give him nothing for that. It's amazing. I don't agree with everything Bobby Kennedy's for, but for goodness sakes, wouldn't you think people on the left who say they like the environment would at least give the guy credit for spending 30 years of his life cleaning up the Hudson River and not a peep, not a scintilla of understanding for that. And that to me is disappointing, and it kind of is that, everything breaks down partisan. We're not going to like him anymore because he supported President Trump in the election. But there's also many other things that I think are worth discussing. There's been this attitude in public health that public health should be some guy with, that's armed and tells you what to do. And if you don't do what the public health person tells you, we're going to put you in jail, instead of what it traditionally was, which was persuasion. So most of what I see Bobby Kennedy's role, if he gets the position, will be to persuade us. Tell America, some of the facts. I mean, in his opening, he talked about 70% of Americans are overweight. Diabetes has increased tenfold, in the last 30 or 40 years. The type 2 diabetes that's related to weight. And I think this should be an all-out, full court press on what are we going to do to make America healthy again. And Republicans and Democrats could come together on this, but instead they're very intent on nitpicking and looking for disagreement instead of trying to find common ground. I still think he can make it through with Republican votes, but it's close. There may be 2 or 3 Republicans that we could possibly lose. On the Secretary of Defense, it was 50-50 and required the Vice President. I hope it doesn't require that, but I'm all for his nomination, and I'm all for the President sticking with him and the Vice President coming in if necessary.